it's that time of year when we pause and reflect and predict what the major themes of 2015 will be. To give me his outlook for the next few months, I'm now joined by Amit Agarwal. He's the Head of Liquidity Management Services at Citi. So hi Amit, welcome.
Good afternoon, Jane.
So can you tell us, what is it at the moment? What are the broad macro themes that kind of anchor or sort of define what you're thinking about at the moment?
Sure. There are 3 or 4 major macro factors which are really forming the anchor for the liquidity management space. On the one hand, you have the geopolitical tensions, whether it is Russia or Ukraine or the Middle East. Those are certainly important factors that the corporate treasurers are looking at. Then you have a growing threat of cybersecurity. You've got things like the spread of pandemics, like the Ebola in West Africa. And then if you generally look at the commodity price shock, very recently, as of today, the oil price has come close to $60 a barrel. That's obviously having a major impact on how companies around the world are really looking at their treasury processes and liquidity management.
Okay, so what is it that, what is the main thing that treasurers are thinking about? For a while, people have been talking about companies just have these massive stockpiles of cash. Do you expect that to change in the next year?
Yeah, and that's a great question, Jane. Companies around the world are sitting on really large stockpile of cash. By different estimates, we are talking about at least a couple of $1 trillion. And the question that a lot of the corporates are really looking at is how do they deploy that cash beyond the strategic deployment into M&A activity. How do they make sure that they can deploy that cash to get optimal returns? And that becomes even more relevant in the context of the environment in which we have been operating, with the interest rate environment extremely anemic. On the one hand, you've got US interest rates which are close to 0 for the last 5 years, and then closer to home here in Europe, we are for the first time dealing with the effects of negative interest rates. And really the corporates are looking for investment options that can balance the need for liquidity and yield, at the same time ensuring that there is the protection of the principal.
Okay, so when you're dealing with your corporate treasurers, there's a lot of talk in the industry about client experience and client centricity, all this kind of thing. So what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I think that's a key focus area for us this year and going into the next year. And in fact, it's a multi-year journey for us. The fact of the matter is that for transaction banking business, which is so core to the corporate treasurers, this business has continued to become more and more central and has become a lot more complex. And as a result, with the advent of technology and the growth in this business, a lot of our focus is around how do we make it easier for our clients to work with us? How do we make it easier for us to bank with us? Things like enabling self-service, making it easier to onboard clients on new products and services, reducing the turnaround time for opening new accounts. There are so many factors that we are looking at that ensure that every time a client contacts us, works with us, it's easy.
Okay, so when you're managing your team and you're trying to put all your plans into action, what would you say your management philosophy is in doing all of that?
Yeah, and my management philosophy is really a product of how we really look at our clients. And our clients at Citi are the large multinational clients who bank with us typically in 30, 40, 50 different markets. And really what we bring to our clients is the network effect, with us being present in more than 95 different countries. So the management philosophy is really around connecting the network, connecting the teams at Citi across the world, to making sure that we are coming across to our client as one team, as a consistent offering every time we interact with our clients.